Hi, welcome back to Guitar Discoveries. Excited to have you with me today. Today I'm going to share a little known discovery, but something that's new and I think can really be helpful to guitarists who want to get a really broad range of sounds when they're playing live or in the studio. Is there a way to exchange the pickups on your electric guitars? Take humbuckers and make them sound like single coils make them sound like humbuckers. Well, there's a new pedal from France. It's called the Exchanger. Let's see if it works. It's called the Exchanger, also known as the Pickup Exchanger, and it's from a company in France called Keyztone. It's actually designed and built in France. Keyztone is spelled K-E-Y-Z-T-O-N-E. So this is a pretty new pedal, and what it promises to do is actually exchange the pickups on your guitar and make them sound like other pickups. And what we're talking about here is going from humbucker to single coil or single coil to humbucker and a few different gradations in between. Is this thing really going to work? Let's check it out. It says, "Thanks for setting me free. Enjoy me." Nice. Here is the pedal. Let's see what it needs. Power supply. Holy crap. So I'm very intrigued. This is the first time I fired up the Exchanger. This pedal retails for somewhere in the neighborhood of about $250. So here's how I'm looking at this. I'm asking myself, is $250 worth it for me to be able to exchange the pickups on any guitar I'm playing? Now, this really pertains to me when I'm playing live, because in the studio, of course, I can change guitars. It's not a problem. But live, I've really decided that I just want to tour with one guitar. I don't want to be hauling around 2 or 3 or 4 for different tones. If I can take one guitar and I can get a lot of different tones out of it by using a pickup exchanger, whoo, that would be super cool, right? So where you plug this in, you go straight from your guitar into the exchanger, right? You want to go right after your pickups into that. So you're exchanging pickups first. That's the idea. And then you go out of this into whatever. And if you're recording, you're going into your DAW. If you're playing live, maybe you're going into a pedal board or you're going into your amp or wherever else your signal flow may want to go. But the idea is right after the pickups of your guitar. Exchange the pickups and move on from there. Now, if you have a single coil, you're going to want to have this over on standard. If you have humbuckers, you want to use the bright boost. And you know, that's the whole reason I wanted to test this. Heritage H575. This is just like a Gibson ES175, right? It's a hollow body guitar, F-holes. This particular model has 2 humbuckers. These are Schaller humbuckers. I generally really love their sound. They're very beefy. You might think, well, you know, hey, a couple of humbucking pickups, put it in the treble position, you can probably get enough edge to get by. That's the sound of this guitar. Straight in, no effects other than a little bit of reverb. No compression, no nothing. That's just the sound of the pickups. Or of the pickup in this case, talking about the bridge pickup. So that's as bright as this guitar gets without EQ and other effects. Part of what the Exchanger does is it actually neutralizes whatever pickups you're feeding it. So humbuckers, single coils, whatever you're feeding in, what it has to do first is essentially neutralize or flatten the frequency response of whatever you're playing. So that's the first step. So my question is, if I engage the unit, can I basically match the tone of humbuckers like the Schallers? Now, the setting I discovered was closest is the classic 50th. It's a classic humbucker. It's got a metal cover on it. You can see it in the little diagram. And if I kick it in, the little blue light goes on. It says working. So I'm essentially taking my pickups, sending it into the unit. It's neutralizing them, and then it's recreating this tone, or not really emulating. It's just creating the impedance signatures and other frequency characteristics of this kind of pickup. That's with it engaged. with it out. Pretty darn close, I gotta say. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Knowing that I can neutralize the tone and essentially come up with the same tone, great. So that would mean that other guitarists should theoretically be able to emulate the tone of this guitar in this mode as well. All right, now my big question was, could I get the tone to be a little hotter, edgier, twangier, more single coil? So that was the key. So I'm going to put this into working mode again, and now I'm going to put it on Hot Texas. That is a hot single coil, right? A little bit thin, right? So I'd probably bring up the level. Not bad, pretty single coily. That's the Hot Texas setting. Here's Bright Vintage. Pretty sweet. All right, there's a P90 setting, so single coil but thicker, and I notice you have to pull the level back a fair amount in order to get a decent tone out of that. It is a little fatter. It's kind of almost getting you there toward a humbucker kind of sound, but there's no hum, right? Here's the thing. If you're feeding a humbucker into this unit, you're going to get clean sounds. You're not going to get the hum that you would normally get from a single coil. Now, if you're going the other way, single coil into the unit to emulate a humbucker, you still might get some hum, right? Because this unit doesn't do anything to cancel hum or add hum. So that's a very interesting aspect of this. So that's the P90 soap bar. There's a rockabilly setting. They're kind of going for a Gretschy kind of tone on that one. There's modern power. Got to pull that volume down. And back to classic 50th, which, if I bypass, pretty darn close, right? Kind of cool. And then there's a setting called wide. If I set it back to working. And then there's a super clean setting. I think that's emulating an acoustic, primarily. So, back to the Hot Texas. So here we are bypassed. And here we are with Hot Texas engaged. That's pretty impressive. I'd like to know what you think, because your ears are different than mine. To me, that sounds like a pretty authentic single coil sound. Well, so there you have it, Keyztone Exchanger. Very interesting box. I think it does what they say it does, and I'm really excited to use it live. I'm going to do that at one of my upcoming gigs, and I'll give you another report after I actually play out live with it. So I want to know from your ears, do you think it's convincing? Did it sound like I was playing a different guitar when you were listening to the single coil sounds, or did it sound like an emulation of a single coil guitar? That's my question. Is it an effective way to exchange the pickups? And does it mean that I can bring this guitar and have it do everything I want to do, including single coil sounds? While you're here, I'd love to send you over to guitardiscoveries.com. That's where you'll find all my videos. Please subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when new videos come out. I'm always doing new fun stuff and would love to have you along for the ride. Keyztone exchanger. Pretty cool. I want to thank Keyztone for sending me this to test. I think they solved my problem. See you next time.